Alright. Yay for bad lighting. I could close the blinds, but I don't know. You might be able to see water. I don't know. What day is it today? It's Sunday. It is day 4? Day 4. The day that we were initially meant to be going up to Noumea. However, we're not, of course, because we're still sailing there, which is totally fine. We will be there tomorrow, so hopefully I can get some footage of it. We are doing a... What are we doing? We're doing the lagoon dive thingy tomorrow? Yeah, we're doing lagoon snorkeling tomorrow. Yeah, so that's tomorrow from 12:30 onwards. That should be fun. Nothing much to say about it, I guess. Of course, it is snorkeling, so I can't really get much footage of it, given that I don't have an underwater camera. I do not have a fancy GoPro like most people do. I mean, I didn't really go on this trip for the expectation of filming. I went on the trip for the expectation of a romantic getaway with my girlfriend, who is currently getting dressed up because we're going to go out to dinner, and then we're going to go to a show. What kind? Is it like a concert?
It's a theatrical production.
A theatrical production. Very fancy. But yeah, haven't done much today. Been another kind of lazy day, which I think is kind of the joy of having, like, 3 to 4 days of getting into cruising, and then 3 days of getting out of cruising, with the 2 days in between going on the island and whatever. Outside of that, I'm having an existential crisis looking at this ocean because it's vast and endless and so very blue. It is literally, it's nightmarish, but it's fun. We've got our clothes hanging out there on the line, which is nice, because I learned on my Japan trip how to wash clothes. Convenient. Very, very convenient. Saves on luggage as well. We actually did what was the art thing we did earlier?
It was the art scavenger hunt.
Yeah, so we did an art scavenger hunt, and pretty much the idea was we got a piece of paper which had 20 different kind of riddles. They were like just vague descriptions of things here and there. One of them was maybe one of them was a quote from a Beatles song, for example. One of them was, I think it was like 2 lovers in a glass jar or something like that. One was like I follow your eyes, or like I can see you from all angles, or whatever. And these like correlated to different art pieces. One of them being like the you can see me from all angles one, which is like one of those 3D paintings that's like triangle upon triangle, and from whatever angle you look at, it actually moves around, which is really cool. Very good illusion artwork. So some of them are pretty obvious. We actually got 20 out of 20 on it because, let's be honest, it was easy enough. Like, once you looked at them all, you're like, yeah, actually, no, this is pretty simple. And we got a prize out of it. Where'd be that prize? We got a prize. We got to, because we actually got them all right, we were able to spin a wheel and got a authentic, and I can say that because it has a certificate of authenticity. This is a art piece by Emile Bellet, and this is what the artwork looks like. Ooh. Yeah, it's kind of got a bit of a glossy nature to it because, of course, it's obviously a probably more digital photocopy of it. There was one similar. One of her works was actually there because you can see how she's got a face, no real distinct features on her face. There was one of the riddles was about a faceless woman, and of course this was by the same artist. But yeah, for the most part, it was quite nice. So, and it's nice to go around. The buffets are nice. The food is nice. The elevators are a chore. They are probably the worst thing. I've gone black, haven't I? Hello, lighting. Where are you? How bad are those elevators?
Really bad.
Oh, they're terrible.
Oh.
Like, they're good quality ones, and they've even got, as I think I filmed a bit of footage, they've got a floor panel which actually has the day of the week, which is very convenient because most people didn't notice until like Friday or Saturday. They're like, oh shit, it is Saturday today, you know? Outside of that, they take forever to get to you. Like, if they're on floor 14 and 15 and you're on, like, floor, maybe, say, because we're on floor 6, if you're on floor 6, they probably won't come to you. They won't come at all. It is. I don't know what the hell they're doing up there. One of the elevators is broken, but there's like, what, 6, 12 in total? There's like maybe 10. I think there's 3 on the inside of both, and then 2 on the outside. So, like, they face each other. But yes, there are, of course, stairs, and stairs are nice, but if you have to climb 15 flights of stairs, it is a nightmare. So, yeah, we've learned a trick that if you're on the 14th or 13th floor and the elevator's going up, but you want to go down, you might as well just go up, because there's no way you're going to be going down anytime soon. Yeah. Outside of that, it's very nice. The weather is beautiful. It is quite humid still. Let's take a look outside. Avoiding the underwear, I guess. And Helene with her makeup. So it's just a pure blue ocean. Nice sky though. Whoa. Hey, look, we just saw a show. What the fuck was it called?
The Beautiful Dream.
Holy fucking shit, that was terrible.
Okay.
I'm not going to say I'm not a big person on theatre. I like theatre, I like musicals. I grew up with them. I'm totally cool with watching them as films or seeing them on stage. You know, I don't mind if they're talky plays or if they're purely singing plays or if they're a mix of both. Maybe dancing, maybe certain lighting, however it be. The production of this, the actual, like, the set design and stuff like that was really cool. I think that was probably the only really great thing, except for probably the talent of the actual stars.
Exactly, they were talented.
So, outside of the talent of the stars, except for that one woman who sang way too loud, there's always that one person. There's always one.
Which one was it?
The one in the blue dress.
Okay, that
It's
one.
fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like, you know how some people sound obnoxious when they sing? This person sounded obnoxious when she sang. The story. Okay, what was the story? So the story is pretty much a guy. His wife is dead, and he has a dream.
Passion.
Yeah, he's lost his passion to live and whatever. Even though he has 2 kids to take care of, and he has a dream that his wife kind of controls, where it's like, oh hey, you're allowed to move on with your life and be happy. There are other things to do, which you could tell in some really good ways. But this play decided to be like, oh hey, okay, so we're gonna open it by like telling you what the play is about. Then we're gonna give you a prologue, and the prologue is them meeting, and it's gonna have an animated backdrop, which sounds really cool and is actually pretty decently animated. And then we're also going to have the people dancing, doing the exact same thing that's happening on the screen. And then you realize that this is not going to go down well, because it's like, so what was it? It was, you had that brief exposition, which was fine, and that transitioned pretty well into the main character as an older man after having lost his wife. The casting was pretty good for it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's probably not too hard to cast a skinny, whitish-looking dude that's bald, and then just give him some glasses and a hat, and then boom, you've got your main character. And then he has a dream, and suddenly he's in this kind of steampunk world with a woman in a big cloak who's singing these songs and is actually a narrator as well, but she only narrates the opening scene. And then suddenly she's a woman in blue for no reason. There's all this crap. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I'd say you have to be there, but like, you really have to be there to see how terrible it was. I was angry the whole entire time.
Say that.
Well, not the whole time. I got angry once because usually when you have a character who's in this big, like, robed up costume that you can't see their face on purpose, you expect that they're going to be someone who's important, and then she takes it off and reveals she's actually in a big, beautiful blue dress, and we don't know anything about her. We don't know who she is. We don't know what the fuck the point of her is. She just is the one who's the obnoxious singer, and I don't understand why she was there and what the hell the point of it was. Like, I was expecting it to be, oh, it's actually secretly the wife, and, she was conducting this all the whole time, and it's like, oh, that's cliche, but at least it's romantic, because he's still missing his wife, and she comes in to tell him at the end, it's okay, you're allowed to move on, please do, I'll still be by your side, but just, move on, be happy, whatever. But instead they decided, no, the wife's gonna be there the whole time, and I don't fucking care. It was terrible. How did you like it? Your beautiful night out, looking great and gorgeous and everything, and how did you enjoy this terrible production?
I mean, I was a little bit disappointed. I thought I was going to see something original at least, but a lot of the songs just kind of ruined it, I reckon.
The songs were, they're like jukebox hits, pretty much?
Yeah, like bubblegum pop.
Yeah, like Maroon 5 and shit like that.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that, like, when they actually did play Maroon 5 in this train sequence,
Yeah, it just didn't make sense.
like, okay, chuck it on me again.
Yeah.
So the train sequence comes in when our main character has already realized with the ghost of his wife that he's allowed to wake up and see the sun and move on with his life. He's had his whole character arc in the span of like 25 minutes, and then the next 15 minutes is, let's redo the prologue all over again. Except suddenly we're in a train station, and you have the main 2 characters, like the husband and wife, even though you can't tell it. I couldn't tell it was a husband because it was the actor from the very start, but so much had happened that I'd forgotten who he was.
Yeah.
Like the actor, because you saw him for like 5 seconds.
Exactly.
And he had glasses on. This time he doesn't wear glasses at all, which doesn't help. Maybe they just lost the glasses and they're like, fuck it, the audience won't care. I noticed that shit, bitch. And so it actually tells you how they actually met, which doesn't make any sense because we already know how they met. You told us 25 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So the next 10 minutes of the show is a Maroon 5 mixed with dubstep. No joke. This EDM crap, and it just goes on, and I don't know what the fuck the point of any of it was, except to just, I guess, reintroduce it. And then they actually went, how I mentioned the animation at the start? Yeah, they did the same thing, but they're like, oh, here are the main 2 characters, like the older versions of them at like the end of 2 boats, and then behind them is this screen, and they do this like puppet marionette with shadows. Silhouettes.
Yeah.
Really well done. However, it's telling you the same fucking story you saw animated 25 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck was the point of it. So they wasted a whole 15 minutes where they could have just actually developed the characters, or even ended the show, really. If they wanted to actually expand it and not just have song after song after song, and had some dialogue to actually tell you who the fuck these characters are, then it would have been okay. But the songs go by so quickly that you forget what the fucking point of them are, and they're all very obvious songs. Oh, this one's all about, oh, you should go out with more girls, but don't get too greedy. And this one's like, oh, you can be happy not being with women, or you can be happy just not being with your wife, you know, just because she's dead doesn't mean the end of the world, and all that kind of crap. And not to mention the fucking lighting. They warned us at the start of the show, usually, you know, like, oh, anyone who suffers from epilepsy, the strobe light and shit like that. The lighting was, like, most, obviously it was all on the characters and stuff, but then they had occasions during some songs where the lighting would flip onto the audience, like, not, like, big booming, like, just those small lights that would go up and down and whatever, and it was fucking blinding. I don't know why the fuck they did it. I couldn't see for, like, 12 seconds after they did it the first time. I'm thinking, what the fuck is happening? So that was terrible. I blame the director of photography, of lighting on that one, because that was a terrible choice. The sound design as well, like sometimes when some of the musicians would sing, you couldn't hear what they were saying. Like this is like the first time when the trio comes in, the steampunk trio, one who's in like a kind of tight boat costume, one who's a woman who I just called Alice from Alice in Wonderland, but like those more gritty games. And then you had the steampunk man who had like a bionic arm for no reason. Why were they steampunk? Who fucking cares? None of it made sense, it wasn't worth my time, and I was very angry during the whole entire experience. Except for the production design, I like the sets. The sets were really fucking good, but it's like, wow, you probably wasted a lot of money on this piece of shit. Good job. At least it was free for us. Fuck.
There we go, there's your rant.
That's my rant.